Hi guys, and welcome to this weekly horoscope for Monday the 1st of August going through until Sunday the 7th of August 2022. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm going to go through each day this week to see what the planets are doing, what energy they create amongst themselves, and how you can use that energy to your advantage. Now, if you've been watching these weekly horoscopes for the last few weeks, you'll have noticed that conflict has been a big theme, kind of enemy tactics between you and others, kind of underhanded behavior, people plotting and scheming against each other to get what they want. I feel this week is all about bringing that kind of behavior to an end. It's much more about transparency, getting things out and presenting yourself in a way that's authentic so that you can feel like you're understood by other people, and vice versa, you're understanding where other people are coming from and why they behaved a certain way, so that you and that other person or place or thing can actually move on. So I think there's major potential for reconciliation here this week. And I feel that kind of coming to an agreement or a place of understanding, that's going to work with the people it's meant to work with. Because that's what's supported here. That's the main theme of the week, particularly for the majority Monday through to Friday. It's about getting to a place of renewed understanding, getting back on the same page with you and another person. If that doesn't work, then that ought to be an indicator in itself that if you're honest with someone this week and you said, do you know what, this is what I did, A, B, and C, here are the facts. I hope you can understand that. I hope we can move past it and move on with our lives. If that is totally rejected or dismissed, then believe that and take note of it, because if someone doesn't understand you this week, the likelihood of them ever understanding you is very, very small. And obviously on the flip side of that then, the people who do understand you this week, even of stuff that you may think, should they understand this? Can I be forgiven for this? And if people are willing to say, okay, that's in the past, I see where you were coming from. Let's move on. Let's look at the future. Then those are people who really like something about you, or people who are able to differentiate between you as an amazing, wonderful person and you making mistakes in your work or in your relationships or whatever, like most of us do. But these are people who are able to see the best in you. And it's important to try and maintain relationships with people like that, because they can be friends, they can be supporters, people who genuinely add something to your life, people who have just somehow decided that either they don't like you or they're not going to understand you just out of principle. You'll be wasting a lot of your time trying to get to some sort of agreement with people like that. So it's important to kind of keep your eyes and ears open and to pay attention to that kind of thing, because it will make your future relationships a lot easier. So starting with Monday the 1st then, we've got the moon in Virgo. That opposes Neptune in Pisces. So the Virgo moon means that you get a kick out of order and being dutiful and diligent here at the beginning of the week, to have some sense of purpose and structure to your life. And with the opposition to Neptune, the dream planet, in the sign that it rules, you're much more interested in taking concrete practical action than you are interested in kind of examining your hopes and dreams. The Virgo moon trines Pluto in Capricorn, Mars and Uranus in Taurus, so all of those are in earth signs, and it quincunxes Saturn in Aquarius. So the question is, what are the structures of my life going to look like in future? What direction am I moving in? Mercury in Leo, the communication planet in Leo, the sign ruled by the sun, is very much about, I want to get my point across, I want to be heard, I want to be in the spotlight. That quincunxes Neptune in Pisces, so what could I be? How can I maximize my potential? Where do I see myself in a few months or years? Mars in Taurus then conjunct Uranus in Taurus. So it's interesting because you're kind of looking at the structures of your life and they don't seem to define you anymore. You're just kind of thinking, how can I tweak things so that I'm in the spotlight and I'm getting myself to a position I want to be in? So Monday, the 1st of August is really interesting because you're seeing your own potential in a way, or you're able to play the tape forward so you can see what you can do to change things, to make your life more purposeful, richer, more enjoyable. But you may be afraid of taking any action in those directions because it may feel risky and unlikely. So you can see this amazing future kind of winking at you from the corner of your eye, but you may be a little bit nervous about embracing that and pursuing it. It'll seem a lot easier instead to focus on other people and to be of service. So you may even want to make amends with people when you've done nothing wrong. And you're doing that because your circumstances may seem to hold a lot of promise. They may seem to be amazing, but things may feel like they're a little bit out of control, and that may bring up some insecurity in you. So rather than taking action and kind of maximizing your own potential or making changes in your work or living situation or whatever it may be, what feels easier is to cling to relationships for comfort and a sense of security. So if you find yourself kind of hiding out and saying, okay, it's my duty and obligation to take care of this person here, then just become aware, what is it that I'm avoiding? What is it that I'm afraid of? Why have I decided to do this instead of this opportunity that I could be pursuing right now? So that's an important thing on Monday, to ask yourself, what really scares me? Because by pursuing that, it really is meaningful and can change your everyday life. So look into that. It's a major opportunity that your ego is trying to dissuade you from taking by bringing you all this fear and insecurity. Okay, big breath. On Tuesday, the 2nd of August, we've got the moon going into Libra at 6 minutes past 6 in the morning. So with the moon in Libra, it's very focused on other people again now, a sense of community, fairness, and balance. The Libra moon opposes Jupiter in Aries, and it sextiles the sun in Leo. Okay, so we've got fire and air, community and the spotlight. So you will want to enjoy other people and to have fun. So it's a good day to socialize and to engage with friends and colleagues and family. Venus is in Cancer, so that's very sensitive. It sextiles Uranus in Taurus and Mars in Taurus. So it's very sensitive to the kind of structures in your life. And it's almost like things that are usually opaque become translucent, and you're able to see through them, and you're able to kind of visualize what could be. So you're a real visionary when it comes to your circumstances, particularly ones that haven't manifested yet, but that can manifest. So it's like a soothsayer who's being shown this vision of the future, and it makes him insecure because it means that, I'm going to have to do a lot of work if I'm going to end up on stage being an opera singer. One, I'll have to learn how to sing. It's that kind of thing. It's like, I'm seeing this amazing future, but I'm nowhere near that. So it's like, it seems to me like I'm going to have to do a lot of work. So if something like that is presented to you this week, really pay attention to it. It can become a reality in your life. And the legwork isn't done just in one day. It can be done over weeks and months and even years. On Tuesday, Mercury in Leo quincunxes Pluto in Capricorn. So thinking about yourself in the spotlight or seeing how you can shine, that will then kind of create ripples that allow things to kind of be tweaked and changed in future. Pluto is transformation. Capricorn is the sign of the worker. So I'm kind of seeing big tectonic plates kind of moving and shaking here and creating earthquakes. So by seeing yourself as you'd like to be, you can create these kind of ripple effects, earthquake kind of vibrations in your life as it is now, so that things will look differently in future. Okay, so on Tuesday, you're creative, you're sociable, and you're able to express yourself wonderfully. So it's a great time to apply for jobs, to kind of pitch investors, and to meet the in-laws, because you're presenting yourself so nicely that people are you're putting your best foot forward. So you're presentable and likable. So if you're trying to win people over or influence others, best time to kind of shake hands and to present yourself. Anything that you care about, you're able to talk about that and to present about it in a loving way, but also with confidence. And that's partially why you're putting yourself across so nicely, because you seem confident but humble. You seem loving but not but also reserved. You're getting the balance right here on Tuesday. If you need to make a family decision as a group, it's a good day to do that, to have the discussion, to get the kids on board, or to explain something that's less than ideal, and to say, do you know what, this isn't how we expected things to be, but as a family, we're going to have to make a decision. It's very likely that you're able to win people over on Tuesday and that you're able to get them on board, or at least to see the group situation and to show people that you're doing your best and that you've got the greater good in mind. That's really the gift here of Monday and Tuesday, that you're able to present things in a way that are things that are complex. You're able to present them simply and from a perspective of love and authority, and saying, this is what I think will work best for all of us. And people will listen to you in that regard. It's interesting because the last few weeks, like I said, have been so much about conflict. It's now about kind of putting things back together, I feel. Okay, on Wednesday, the 3rd of August, we've got the Libra moon opposing Chiron in Aries, a conflict between the group or my will, squares Venus in Cancer and Pluto in Capricorn. So I want to change my life because I feel that to be important. Quincunxes Neptune in Pisces and Uranus and Mars in Taurus. So I see the way things are, but I have a dream of what they could be. So because we've got the conflict between self-will and community, other people, there may be a conflict between your working life and your home life on Wednesday. So for instance, there may be an opportunity in one area which then creates uncertainty in the other area. So for example, a job offer that then affects the family living situation, or a school placement that would affect your working situation because it would increase or decrease your commute to work every day. It's interesting looking at Wednesday because what you want to do now, or what's demanded or expected of you on Wednesday, is to invest in someone else in a genuine way because they need you to invest in them. So for instance, the kid has got the school placement. Is the family willing to adapt their living situation so that the child can go to this amazing school that they've dreamt of going and have applied for? And if you compare that with Monday, because Monday was like, oh, I don't feel confident about maximizing my potential, so I'm going to hide out behind the scenes and pretend to be helpful and be of service just so I don't have to face my own stuff. Wednesday is about someone else has a genuine opportunity. Are you selfless enough to help them and to really be of service to them? It's not about you. So on Monday, it's interesting to kind of ask yourself, what's my real motivation here? Am I just being of service to hide out and to shirk my own responsibilities? On Wednesday, it's much more likely, if something is required of you, that this is a genuine investment where someone really could use your help and support. It's kind of interesting. So which one are you going to go for? And obviously, being selfless on Wednesday is a good idea, and being of service just so you can avoid stuff and helping yourself on Monday, that's not such a good idea. So try and kind of pay attention to that if you can. On Thursday, the 4th of August, we've got Mercury entering Virgo at 8:58 in the morning. Now, Mercury, the communication planet, it rules Virgo. So it's very happy in that placement. Thursday onwards now, analysis, detail, being able to listen, understanding, making sense of it, that's a big talent of yours. So if there's anything that needs to be organized or administered by you, look at those kind of things today, because you're like an admin expert here with Mercury going into Virgo. The Libra moon squares Pluto in Capricorn. So you may want to make changes in your relationships, your connections with other people. The moon goes into Scorpio at 1:47 in the afternoon. So your feelings are going to get much more intense as Thursday goes on. And then the Scorpio moon sextiles with Mercury in Virgo, and it quincunxes Jupiter in Aries. Okay. So conflict comes back, I think, because you really want to be honest and truthful about where you're at and what you're feeling. I don't want to influence anyone. I want people to see me for who I am and what I'm really going through. Yeah, so there's a need to be kind of understood. So with that said, Thursday the 4th, it's a good idea, or it's a good moment to have a genuine, honest discussion with someone, particularly someone you're close to, like a family member or a really good friend, and to tell them where you're really at in life. If you want to be seen and recognized for what you're doing and going through, there will be someone close to you who will understand and who isn't aware of everything that you've been dealing with. And sometimes it's really important for us to feel seen and heard and just recognized. It can take a lot of pressure off. Just someone knowing that we're dealing with this or going through this can be a huge support in itself. So particularly family members who have no idea of who you are and what you're doing, being honest about your experience will bring you closer together, not further apart. So if there's a lack of understanding, you can make things very clear via a simple conversation. Also, if changes have to be made, so downsizing or there's a divorce and the living situation is going to change as a result, it's a great time to explain what is happening, why things need to change, and it's very likely that the other people will listen and that you get the greatest level of understanding that's really possible in that kind of situation. So you're able to make very complicated stuff very clear on Thursday. And you're very likely to have other people understand where you're coming from and what's kind of expected of them or how it's going to influence them. On Friday, the 5th of August, we've got the Scorpio moon forming a square with the sun in Leo and Saturn in Aquarius. So it's interesting because you find your confidence in things that are happening in your life. Even if you hadn't planned for something, you're able to see the silver lining. The Scorpio moon opposes Mars and Uranus in Taurus. So your feelings seem much more important than your circumstances. So you feel more grounded in yourself than you let your life define you, which is great. The Scorpio moon also quincunxes Chiron in Aries and trines Venus in Cancer. So you're very sensitive to your own needs and what you'd like to get out of a situation. And then Venus in Cancer quincunxes Saturn in Aquarius. You're very sensitive to other people trying to determine what you're supposed to do or what the rules are. And what you're very good at on Friday is taking back control. Whatever situation you're in, you'll be able to not only find the silver lining, but you'll be able to understand how you can make this work for you in your favor. So Friday the 5th of August, you're able to take control in an uncontrollable situation. So for instance, if your employer has told you that your job role is changing and that you have these different things that you're doing, it's then by doing those different things and saying, okay, I'm going to make these amazing, I'm going to make these things my own, and really then thriving in that new situation. So a couple of examples, okay? If you've lost a friend, it's not just saying, oh, okay, I'm by myself. It's accepting that the friend is gone and now moving on and saying, how am I going to make new friendships? If it's been decided that you're going to have to move because of your job, it's then saying, okay, I accept that, and I'm now going to decide what area I'm going to move to, because I still have control and a say over that. And it's not just making the most of things, it's about taking something that's going on in your life and taking back control and approaching that with a sense of motivation and optimism. It's like, I get to move, but I get to but, whatever. So I am moving, and within that move, I get to choose what area I'm going to live at and what kind of house I'm going to live in. So it's a great time to imagine what the future could look like if you do things differently and if you embrace the kind of future that's been laid out to you in the short term and how you can really make that your own. It's really a fabulous time to take those first steps, to embrace change, and to move forward in a way that kind of pleases you. So it's balance between the uncontrollable and the controllable working together to give you an outcome that you're actually happy with. Saturday, the 6th of August, we've got the Scorpio moon forming a trine with Venus in Cancer and Neptune in Pisces, and it sextiles Pluto in Capricorn. So your feelings really say, I want something to change. The moon goes into Sagittarius at 6:39 in the morning, so now it's about adventure and how can I impose myself on the world. The Sagittarius moon then squares Mercury in Virgo, so I understand how things are done here. My feelings are telling me what I want. I'm capable and I can administrate and organize. How do I bring all of this together to make my life look different? So Saturday is amazing because there's a great sense of acceptance around certain things that have gone on during the week, relationships, work situation. You're able to see how it's affected you and everyone else involved, and how, again, you can take control of the situation so that you can build in future, so that you can make the most of it moving forward. So it's kind of being in the present moment, but allowing for the future to unfold in a positive way. So Saturday, there's a sense of completion, which is why it's a good idea to get things out on the table before Saturday, from Monday to Friday, so that by the weekend here you can move on, that what's needed to be said has been said, everyone accepts it, and you can now move on with your life and go in a different direction. Anything you want to put behind you, it's really a great week to be honest about it, to share and to say what needs to be said, and then to move on. So if there is a big skeleton that's been rattling around your closet, please do consider whether you want to get rid of that. In recovery, they say secrets keep us sick. And if you have had a horrible secret that you're ashamed of, and you've had the experience of actually being able to tell someone that, it's the relief, the sense of burden being removed, it's so unbelievably powerful. Like getting something like that off your chest. So consider whether you want to come out of the closet with one of your secrets, with one of these things that you feel like, I'm going to take this to the grave. And if you can find the courage or the confidence or the trust and faith to share that with another person, really please consider that in earnest, because it will be such a huge relief. You'll be able to breathe. Sunday, the 7th of August, we've got the Sagittarius moon forming a trine with Jupiter in Aries, Chiron in Aries, and the Sun in Leo. So Sunday now is all about fire. It's your motivation, your life purpose, your passion, your drive. Venus in Cancer trines Neptune in Pisces, so you're very sensitive to your own intuition, to your own dreams at the same time. Mars in Taurus squares Saturn in Aquarius. I want to escape the rules. I want to make my own rules. The Sagittarius moon sextiles Saturn in Aquarius, and it quincunxes Uranus and Mars in Taurus. So I want to have adventures and come up with my own meaning. I don't want to be told and learn from other people's mistakes. I want to make my own and learn from my own and see the world in the way that I've come to know it. So Sunday is all about having experiences and doing something fun and letting your hair down and making that your priority, so that you can feel like you're engaging with your life and building your own memories and your own experiences, and that you're present and learning rather than you're having an experience rather than just listening to someone else's. That's very important to you on Sunday. So by pursuing what it is you desire, like doing something that you enjoy, is a good idea on Sunday, because it'll recharge your batteries and it'll restore your energy and confidence levels. So it may seem frivolous to go to the beach, but if that's a genuine desire and you say, okay, fine, my inner child wants to go to the beach, so I'm going to make 2 hours and do that, it's not frivolous, because it will say, I did this for myself, I feel better for it, I feel more confident. Also, doing something like that for yourself on Sunday is going to give you the energy and confidence to handle upcoming changes, so things happening in the coming week, so Monday the 8th of August, with a sense of ease, acceptance, and purpose. And that's kind of interesting about this week is the thing I mentioned a couple of times is acceptance. I accept that these things have happened, which means I can take back control and make the most of it moving forward. So it's really something that you're able to tap into, and you're able to use the energy, or use your energy to put things back together again. And a key ingredient in that is acceptance. Yeah. So it looks like a much more constructive week when it comes to your relationships. Yeah, and rather than being a schemer and a plotter, you're able to be open and honest. And I mean, those kind of relationships are going to be much better than, you know what I mean? It's much better to be open and honest than to feel like, oh, I'm going to have to lie and like manipulate and da-da-da. At least you know where you're at. Okay, so that's what I get for you this week. I hope you have a wonderful time. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to audio reading with me. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have an amazing week, and I'll speak to you next week. All the best.